Anna Paulina Luna, Congresswoman from Florida, wants to collect signatures to make a law within Congress to stop insider trading. So what is the terminology here that's used? It is filing a special rule in the House of Representatives to call a discharge petition. So in other words, she can make it a law by just collecting signatures within the U.S. House. And the reason why is that a lot of our representatives get rich because they're allowed to do insider trading. You got someone like Nancy Pelosi who's worth millions of dollars. And what did she produce? Did she invent something? Did she, work really hard to get this money? No. What she did was of course, there's corruption involved. People like her, she takes special interest money, but she's also allowed to do insider trading. People in Congress, there's from the lobbyists and their connection with, these private corporations, because we desperately need but do not have a separation of economy and state. A lot of these big corporations are very much involved in legislation. They're lobbying politicians to get favorable treatment for their industry or for their particular company. And and part of the issue here is, yes, the Congress, they could do insider trading, whereas people like you and me, we would get in a lot of trouble for that. You look at Martha Stewart, she spent time in prison for insider trading, right? Whereas, someone like Nancy Pelosi just does it like it's nothing. The root of the problem is the Federal Reserve. It's the central bank. The government borrows money, and the Federal Reserve can issue currency basically from thin air. They just put it on their books as a liability, and it goes through the government. That new currency, that monetary inflation, which down the line leads to price inflation or is a contributing factor to price inflation, that new money, that new currency, it's not money, it's currency, first goes through the government. The government gets their hands on this new currency first, and then it goes into places like Wall Street. And you have inflated asset prices there, and in order for everyone to beat inflation, they want to put their currency into this casino, to speculate, to make a certain percentage return, to hopefully beat inflation or at least keep up with inflation. And people, they want to do insider trading. They want, they want the odds to be in their favor. And yes, it's not fair that the Congress can do that and the public cannot do that, but that's a symptom of the problem. It's a cause of the problem, but a symptom of the problem as well. The cause is the corruption and the rules for thee but not for me attitude, but also it's a symptom, like I said, of the Federal Reserve, of this over financialization of our economy. Chasing the high asset prices instead of allowing for a free market economy, having like a gold standard, and you'd have things that are built on value. You would have actually lowering prices over time because you have technology that would lower the prices, and that would be the indicator of wealth. So anyway, her heart's in the right place. But if you really want to attack this problem, you got to get rid of the Federal Reserve. I'm going to put a link in the article of this article, and it shows like a bar graph of your representatives and how much they've made recently. And some of these people are well over 100% returns, which is ridiculous. But insider trading, is that an objective crime? Does it violate the rights of other people? Well, if you're doing it in a way that's fraudulent, where you do sort of a pump and dump, if you're like a Wolf of Wall Street type of situation, that's not right. That is fraud. And yes, such a person should get in trouble for that. But really, the cause of this problem is the central bank. It's the Federal Reserve.